We'll go ahead and get started again. Good. All right. Okay. So I was saying, outside of my love and Landmark, you check my connection. I appreciate that. I need some help. And Erica, yes, you are still tourism. You'll be back. Good to see Glenda. Thank you. Councilman Gene Harley. Good to see you on, sir, as well. So this is kind of where we are. As of 7 o'clock this evening, Chatham County had 65 cases. Good to see you, Jay Chris. 65 cases of coronavirus, COVID-19, and we had 3 deaths, although I know that there are more. They just haven't been uploaded into the state system at this time. So we have 65 cases, which is not surprising to us because if you remember on Monday morning, we had 19 cases. We had 19. We expected we had 150 cases that were still out there. We knew that at about a 20% positive rate of return, that we would end up at around, at 65 cases. Good to see you, Dr. Levette. And so here we are on Friday, and we are at 65 cases. It's important here to follow the science, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So we're at 65 cases, which means from Monday through Friday, we went from 19 to 65. That's a whole lot of cases. We still believe that with the people we have, with the population that we have, with the things we have going on here in our community, good to see you, Dr. Johnson. We believed that we have possibly, being proactive, keeping the faith, but following the science, have been able to at least try to flatten that curve to limit our exposure to COVID-19. And you know the drill. We've been talking about this. To social distance, make sure you stay away from folk, stay in your house with your family, stay away from people who are older or people who have underlying medical conditions, because we know that when you get to that point, those are people that are most vulnerable. And we push that message throughout our community. And as you know, there were a variety of legislative measures, executive orders that myself and the city council put into place to be able to try to protect our citizens. And so those are a variety of things, and it was incremental. We closed some businesses. At first, you could do this, but you couldn't do that. As the science moved on, we did this, and then we didn't do this. And then we did this, and we didn't do this. But trying to move really more proactively restrictive to try to stay at least ahead of the outbreaks. We know that the cases we're seeing today were infected about 2 weeks ago. So understanding the science as we understand it, we know that what happens today, if you're infected today, we may not see that until 2 weeks from now. So again, going back to the whole thing, we expected it. We knew that it was going to happen. Again, big shout outs to the Coastal Health District. Big shout outs to Team Savannah, the Savannah city councils, the city manager, our city attorney, city clerk, our team, all of our employees, the chiefs that are all involved. Because again, we were following the science, keeping the faith, but following the science. And so this weekend we were looking, remember last week, it was like people really still were not getting the point. And we used this week to try to help people to get the point. We issued tickets. We wanted to make sure we were very clear about what it was that we were doing. So at this point, we have 127 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and 4 deaths. Bryan County has 15 cases and 1 death. Camden County has 6 cases. Chatham, as we said before, has 65 cases and 3 deaths. Effingham County has 6 cases. Glenn County has 23 cases down in Brunswick. Liberty County, 9 cases. Lawn County, 1 case. And McIntosh County has 2 cases. So, again, keeping the faith and following the science, what we tried to do, again, was to make sure that we balance public safety with the need for the public to be safe. Now, we realized some businesses were going to be considered essential. We have to maintain some level of an economy here. But we realized some businesses would be designated as being non-essential, and therefore they need to be closed. And again, people were really upset about it. They're mad. They can't sell cars. They can't do this. They can't sell vapes and all that. But in the bottom line is, when you judge the dollar versus a life, what do you say is most important? And I think what we were thinking about and where we were thinking about was we're going to try to save human lives at all costs. And again, we knew that it's painful. We knew it was hurtful. We knew that it would be inconvenient for a lot of people. We knew that it would put a lot of people in a bad way. But we realized also that one day this thing was going to pass. And when it passed, if you had people who were healthy, then they would be more apt and easier to rev our economy up again and get it going. If you have people just doing whatever it is they want to do and they get sick, then when this passes, it's harder to get our economy back in gear again. So we figured, if we're keeping the faith and following the science, we have faith that it's going to pass, but the science told us that some things needed to close. Science told us that some things were going to have to change. We could not go around doing business like we've always done it and thought that things were going to change. We had to flatten this curve. So, and again, I'm sure for people who've lost lives, they'll tell you that, again, you cannot put a price on a human life. So we did that. And again, we wanted to make sure we were clear, make sure we were consistent, make sure we let people know exactly what was going on. Wow, there's 3,000 of y'all on this call, 3,700 are on this call right now. God bless you. Thank you. And then this week happened, later on this week. So what had happened was, and I want to make sure I got it right, there was a series of press conferences. And as you know, and I told you, we were involved in press conferences throughout the entire week, making sure that people were very clear about what it was we were doing, because we didn't want it to be any surprises. We know that people would understand very clearly if you are telling them not only what you're doing, but telling them why you're doing it. We also had to make sure we took some measures to protect our city employees. Obviously they have families too. We're very concerned about them. So we wanted to make sure that we were very clear about what was going on with that. So last weekend, as you know, everybody just kind of, Forsyth Park was like the club, Walmart was like the club, people just kind of doing their own thing. And we realized, and I was very clear on last Tuesday, that we had to clean this up. We had to get this together, because if we did not get this together, some things were going to change. So later on this week, our governor has a press conference. And again, I'm trying, my team has told me to be nice, and I will be nice. I'll be respectful. But this is kind of how it went down. When the governor was talking about, and this is Governor Brian Kemp, nice guy, was talking about, well, let me go back. Because before this time, we were asking, we would appreciate it if the state of Georgia had more comprehensive, more coordinated approaches to be able to handle this. Because that way, everybody's very clear on what the rules are. So the governor said, well, no, we're going to let the cities and the counties make the decisions for themselves. And again, we're asking. I sent a letter. Governor, we need some more comprehensive types of measures, because if you have someone in one county doing one thing and someone in another county doing something else, or vis-a-vis somebody in one city doing one thing and someone in the next city doing something else, it's confusing. And because viruses don't know city or county boundaries, it's easy for people to cross-pollinate, if you will, from one city to another city. So it didn't happen. The governor decided to let cities kind of do their own thing. So we did. And so Savannah came up with remedies that we felt was right to protect Savannahans, because that's all we could be concerned about. We wanted to take care of the measures that we could to protect our residents. And cities across the state did it. Atlanta did it. Athens did it. Augusta did it. Here in Chatham County, Tybee Island did it. There were a couple of cities that went ahead and did their own thing. The county came up with some measures to be able to test people coming in to airports here in this community. So again, we were doing because there was no direction coming from the state. So then on Thursday, it was announced, let me go back. It was Wednesday that it was announced that the governor was going to come forth with some measures. Okay, well, let's see what that's all about. And it was announced on Wednesday. We didn't get it until after the close of business on Thursday. It was signed at 3 o'clock. We didn't receive it until after 5 o'clock. And I was mortified by what I saw. Now, in this press conference, the governor said very clearly, which amazed the crap out of me, that those individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt bad, he said. But we didn't know that until the last 24 hours. The last 24 hours, we have been living this for the last 2 to 3 weeks. And the information we got was from your health department that told us that. So, I mean, at this point, I'm really kind of interested. I think I saw my mama on. Hey, mama. Say hello to my mother. But anyway, he says that he didn't know that until the last 24 hours, which meant if you go back from on Wednesday, then that meant on Tuesday, which meant that the governor of the state of Georgia did not know until Tuesday that this virus, that people could be asymptomatic. In other words, that people could infect people before they ever felt sick. This blew my mind because I'm not all that smart, but I knew 2.5 weeks ago. The health department, the Coastal Health District, the Centers for Disease Control, they have all been saying, the Surgeon General, they've all been saying it. It's like, what is going on? So then we go ahead and we get this order. And this order concerned me, to use a nice word. Basically, all the businesses that we closed at 6:01 p.m. tonight are back open. Again, we're trying to create opportunities to stop people from coming together. But the governor, through his order, opened them all back up. There are some exceptions. Gyms, bars, bowling alleys, theaters, amusement parks, beauty and barbershops are closed. Restaurants can still take out or delivery. Savannah was here 2 weeks ago. We had already done that. But what he opened up was malls, other types of department stores. And the concern that I have about this, is that when people don't have stuff to do, they look for stuff to do. Practice social distancing. But There is no way, because the governor also says that there is the local police cannot enforce order, which again does not make sense. So you have an order in place that people have to have social distancing, but yet only the state patrol and people you say can enforce it can enforce it. The difference was when Savannah had its order, we had our police officers, we had our code inspectors, we had our agents, we had our deputy marshals enforcing our law. So when there is no enforcement, I think my mother came back. Hey, mama. People are going to do that which they're going to do, which puts everybody at risk. And that bothered me. Then the governor said, through his order, that the declaration of the Savannah Declaration, our emergency declaration, and our first amended emergency declaration that we not only signed and we voted on, it ratified, that we explained, was essentially suspended. So he basically has trumped, to use that word, our order. So it's like, hey, do you, be out there. This, in my mind, and this is just me speaking, is dangerous, it's irresponsible, and it is sad because we see our numbers. Remember, 19 on Monday, 65 on Friday. We see our numbers going up. And if a governor cannot see and just found out on Tuesday what we knew 2 weeks ago, that someone who has no symptoms can still spread the virus, then maybe we should have had some discussions before you put an order in place to now put us in a situation where you're putting Savannahans at risk, where you're putting Georgians at risk. That's what I'm upset about. Because the fact was, we knew last Tuesday that some people weren't getting it. We knew last Saturday that Walmart was like the club. We knew that. Because I was in there tonight. Yes, I was in there. And yeah, I was in there. But we're watching people socialize. That's the problem. That's the problem. And we won't know for 2 weeks what this order would have done to us. Good to see you, Dawn Bacon. Thank you so much for your hospitality yesterday on the town hall meeting. Thank you. That's our issue. So, just because the governor made an order that things are open, that does not mean that you have to go. I'm asking you to continue. Good to see you, Alderman Leggett. It's important to you. It's important to me. Good to see you, Reverend Morris. It's important that you continue to do what we have asked you to do. We asked you to social distance yourself. We asked you to stay at home. We asked you to not go anywhere that you did not absolutely have to go. We asked you to wash your hands. And I know it's hard because certainly many of you want to see people that you love and people you care about. But we asked you, if you want to see them again, do the right thing. You all know I'm a New Yorker by birth, and I mean, it is a bad deal in New York. FEMA has ordered 100,000 body bags. This is real. Real. And we don't want to become like New York. We don't want to become like Los Angeles. We don't want to become like Albany. We don't want to, we pray for them and we hope that things do better, but we don't want to become them. The science says this is how we get through this. That we have a short time of of discomfort. We have a short time of pain. We hunker down. I mean, it means that I'm cooking. That's a scary thing, but I'm cooking. But it means that this storm passes us over. And when it passes us over, we can turn up like it's 2020. Please, if you are a parent, don't let your kids go to the mall or go hanging out with their friends. Don't do it. Please, your husbands, your spouses, your loved ones, people who are close to you, particularly those that are our seasoned Savannahans and those that are have health challenges. Please, I'm telling you from what I know from my family and friends in New York, it's gotten so bad now that you can't have any visitors in the hospital. And we have people where their loved ones are dying and they can't even be there. This is real. This is real life. We're not going to allow the governor's reckless actions, and in my opinion, foolish actions, prevent Savannahans from being safe. Savannahans have always had their own mind, and I want you to have your own mind here. I don't want to see you on the streets. I don't want to see you in the parks. I don't want to see you in Walmart or any of these other places unless it's absolutely necessary. I don't want to see you at backyard barbecues. I don't want to see you at your house parties. I don't want you to be there. I don't want your children just to be out in the street, up and down the street playing. Let's not do that. Let's not go there. This is too important. Our churches have been doing a magnificent job of services and holding services and doing it remotely. We want you to continue doing that. We know we're approaching Palm Sunday, and after that is Holy Week, and then Easter. Well, our community will rise again. It'll rise. But we have to do what it's going to take to get there. We know in between between Easter, between Palm Sunday and Easter, we know there was some darkness, and we're in some dark times. But I'm committed to making sure that Savannah is protected, and I need your help to help me to do that. I need you. Please, let's be really clear about where we are. At the end of the day, it's about personal responsibility. We have hospital systems here they're doing the best they can with what they have. But there's a tipping point at which these systems become overwhelmed. That's when we have problems. We need you to take care of yourself. So that's the end of my rant for today. I'll answer any questions. And hopefully you like it, my page, Mayor Johnson, SAB. Take a moment and like it, please. Interested is a very interesting thing about the beaches. My friend, Mayor Shirley Sessions, they were not going to open the beaches because, again, we know what happens when you open the beach. People come to the beach. And, the governor, for what I understand, has contacted them and told them to open the beach. We here in Savannah, we're evaluating our legal options. We might have some. But the fact is we cannot allow political decisions to address issues of public safety and health. We can't do it. We can't do it. This is not a Democratic thing. It's not a Republican thing. It's not an independent thing. It's not a Green Party or it's not a Libertarian thing. The coronavirus does not care who it kills. And I'm trying to protect all of us. All of us. So take a couple of minutes, answer some questions, do what I can, and then I will be out of your way. Again, I'm just gratified and thankful for all of you who are joining us today. And sorry about the technical stuff. So I will tell you that the governor has said for you to stay home. Basically he's not enforcing it, which is the dangerous part about this. Good to see Monica Morgan on. Hey, Monica, good to see you. Dr. Andrew Young, good to see you. Any questions, anything I can answer? Thank you, Errol Roach. Thank you for your thoughts and your prayers. Thank you. Thank you, Latanya. They won't believe until Pookie and them die from corona. It seems like that. Corona is not a drink. Brenda, good to see you. Thank you. Keep me in your prayers. Dawn, thank you. Accountability, yes. Yes, I've heard that in Tybee Island there are at least four or five officers down there that are looking of that. So thank you. Let's see. Katrina, good to see you. Keep working hard for us. Big round of applause for those that are in healthcare and police, fire, sanitation, trucking, those who are working in Walmarts and grocery stores, Kroger's, and these places. Thank you for doing what you do. Well, that's the other issue. Somebody just raised a good issue. If we have a legal order that goes to April 13th, why are the schools closed for the rest of the year? If the schools are closed for the rest of the year, it's because this is serious. So why are we being less restrictive when we should be more restrictive? But anyway, let's see. Mayor Pro Tem Cynthia Jenkins, good to see you. Thank you. Yeah, I heard about the spring breakers in Miami. Thank you, Matthew. Good to see you. Dr. Heather, thank you so much. Keep us in your prayers. Shanice, there is no curfew at this point. I thank God for teachers, love teachers. Thank you. Charles, thank you. Erica says that 6 officers in Tybee are under COVID quarantine. 6. Freedom Boys in jail. Okay, I know what you're talking about. T, thank those on the front line. Hey, Mo, I hope you're doing well, and I want you to stay in the house because that baby needs to be all right. Now, don't make me come and snatch you up. You need to, be cool, okay? Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate it. Taylor, good to see you. Thank you, Johnny Douglas and the family for your support. Stay in. Barry, what I did extend my order to the 30th, so if the governor's expires, then I will make sure that we're back in this. Kaisha, that's right, we're all in this together. And I feel for you parents because I'm sure that your kids are home eating you out of house and home. I know it, I'm sure. Because all they do is sit around and eat. This is a great opportunity also for them to learn and check on folks. They can call neighbors and make sure that they're doing all right. Yeah, it's crazy. We close the schools, but we open the malls. Doesn't make sense to me. Pastor Osborne, good to see you. Bishop Pouchet, thank you so much as well. Reverend Morris, thank you for praying for me. I appreciate that. Apostle Law, thank you very much. Have I heard from the pool of Mary? I have not heard from her lately. Brother Williams, thank you. Charles, that's right. The orders are not lining up. And thank you for praying for our city. Please share this. Oh, yeah. Thank you for all of our Comcast employees. I don't know why my Comcast keeps breaking down, so y'all need to come and check that out because I can't get to my people. Can't get to them. Thank you, Miss Denise. Terry, thank you so much. Good to see my cousin Sean Day watching. Glenda, thank you. I'm trying to stay centered and calm, but it's getting hard. Shanita, I keep telling myself that. I keep telling myself that. Will, thank you so much. Please do me a favor, share the video. Share this video, like my page. And how long would it take about legal action? I don't know. I mean, this is just me talking out of my mind. I just think that, locally, we should be able to have the ability to, protect our folks. Steve Don said, tell them to stop buying toilet paper. Hey, all the toilet paper is gone. What is it with y'all in toilet paper? I mean, dang. I mean, you have no food and all the toilet paper. I mean, all the toilet paper gone. All the toilet paper. I have something good. I don't see, scroll back and answer. I can't see that. If you're not required to work, please stay home. We know that Gulfstream did have some issues, and Gulfstream has changed two of their buildings. Right now, oh, that's why, Kaisha. Okay. Gulfstream has had some issues, and essentially it closed down two of their buildings. We don't regulate them because they're under federal exemption because they're an aircraft manufacturer. But I have cautioned even Gulfstream, people should not be working in close quarters. It's just not smart. It doesn't make good people sense. Yeah, we want you to stay home. Yeah, Maureen, the governor is putting us in a bad situation. Does the governor's declaration supersede Savannah's? Yes, it does. He has specifically said in his order that he is suspending all of the orders from cities and counties across the state. So, I mean, he's the man. So he supersedes my order, but the reality is that he can't stop me from talking about it. And again, it's my opinion, but I just think it's reckless. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's dangerous. Jars of artichokes are still on the shelf. What does that mean? Oh, I guess so. Alderman Leggett said baby wipes are gone. Right, Mike, it went from 19 on Monday to 65 on today. Yes, Jay Chris, the governor's declaration supersedes Savannah's. Darren, thank you so much. Lorraine, thank you so much. No, you don't need a pass while you're driving. You don't need any pass while you're driving. If you're going to where you're going from, you have no problems. Also, we want to thank all of our postal workers as well. Postal workers, thank you. Still delivering the mail because folks could be looking for their stimulus checks soon. So we thank those of you for that. So obviously, it's been tiring. It's been exhausting. Lately, it's been frustrating. But I need you all to do the right thing. I need you, please, to stand with me. I need you to like my page. I need you to share this video. I need you to take care of your own home first and tell people very clearly that they need to stay home. If you don't have to leave, don't leave. Please control your children. Keep them in the house. This is deadly. The 65 cases here, the 3 deaths here, the thousands that are happening in New York, these are people. They have names. And somebody told me some crazy stuff the other day. He said that black people don't get it. Yes, black people do get it. And black people die of it. And somebody else told me, well, young people don't get it. Yes, young people get it. Yes, young people die of it. That's the science. We're people of faith. We believe and we know that things are going to get better. But we know that God also gave us science. So we'll keep the faith, but we're going to follow the science. Trina, you'd be pissed if you were me. I think that'd be a good word to use for me right now. Oh, LaShondra, thank you for the school nutrition staff for feeding all of our young people. Was there any consultation with the mayors prior to the governor's declaration? No. Thank you, Takwa. I'm trying to do the best that I can. I love the 911 dispatchers. Thank you, Ms. Lodeholt and the 911 dispatchers behind the scenes making it happen. Thank you, Netro. Appreciate you. Roxy, right now, Walmart, Kroger's, and Publix are going to keep their folks there. I will tell you this, and 2 things. Well, Denise, you can call the governor's office. You can call him. You can email him as well. 2 things about that. If you have not done your census, please go ahead and do your census. Please do your census. Please do your census. Please do your census. Also, register to vote. I need you to register to vote and make sure you're voting when the time comes because these are serious. Elena, yes, these are readers. I don't wear glasses, but I mean, I'm on my phone now, so it's so small. I have to see it. That's right, Dr. Coppett. God gave us science, signs, and sense. I like that. I'm going to use that. And yes, Lily, stupidity is real every single day. Good to see you, Zadana. Hope you're doing well. We are in this together, and we can overcome this. Thank you, Trell. I appreciate you. Bishop Sills, thank you so much. I will put the email address of the governor and his phone number on there so you can let him know what you think. We'll be clear. What can you legally do to protect your seniors as far as employees not complying? What we can do is Walmart's going to limit the number of shoppers. They didn't do that today. Don't forget about the local National Guard. Yes, thank you, particularly to the 164th Airlift Wing. I think I sent something out yesterday, pushed something out thanking our folks and thanking all of our essential workers for making it work. Lynette, I'm not even listening to you. I'm not even hearing you with all that. Good to see my brother Darryl on. Thank you as well for joining us. But I know that faith without works is dead. So the faith is your praying, but the works is keeping your behind in the house. Staying in the house, making sure your children stay in the house. Again, making sure, they're even saying in New York, I understand that they want you to go out, wear a mask. So if you go out, wear a mask, wear some gloves. When you come in, make sure you're washing your hands and you're taking off your clothes and things. We want you to make sure that you're okay. We want you to be okay. Okay? So, Elder Wright, Pastor Roche, thank you so much. Good to see my Amber on as well. Good to see Mayor Larry Baker from the great city of Waltowerville. And if Donica can stay home, anybody can stay home. That's real. Hey, Swan, good to see you there. And Erica says stimulus checks coming at 419. Thank you. There is no curfew as I understand it. So, Erica, I'm glad your hair is done. Your nails done too? We're hoping that's done so you have no reason to get out. Now, what does this mean? It means there's going to be some bad hair days. And yes, there are going to be some bad nail days. And yes, there are going to be the days that, your big lashes, you're not going to have those on. But I would much rather for you to have a bad hair day than have a good hair day in a casket. And that's real talk. That's real talk. Everybody will be opened up again. So we want to make sure that you know what's going on. Hey, Naria Lee. Good to see Naria Lee, the diva, always on. Thank you so much. Again, we're asking people, if you are outside, they want you, and they're asking these cities to wear your mask out. So please go ahead and wear your mask out. We are not going to let this foolishness win in Savannah. We're going to keep the curve down. We're going to do the right thing. Those businesses can be open all they want to. You don't have to go in them. And when you don't go in it, then you are not only protecting yourself, you're protecting that cashier. That's somebody's child. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's father. Let's protect them. But anyway, Erica, I'm glad your nails are done. Good. We appreciate that. So go get some wings or go natural and alive. That's right. Elder Erica, I'm waiting on that shipment when you can get it to me. But this is real talk. So, to Shonda, thank you. Good to see you. And Kathy and all of you. Pam, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and all of you and all that you're doing. I'm doing the best I can. What did Sean say about me? I'm glad the Calhouns are in. Good to see my big cuz Leon. Good to see you, sir. Get you some masks. If we need to get you some masks, let's find you a way to get some masks. Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that. It is. Crisis is the breeding ground for creativity, and people are finding ways to exist in the new reality. Every now and then, I believe that God sets the reset button, and it becomes like a common denominator. Everybody kind of goes back to around zero. And so those that are able to survive are those who are able to find ways to exist in this new reality. And those that are able to exist in this new reality are those who are able to see past the crisis to the opportunity. Those who see beyond the crisis to the opportunity are already thinking about ways to exist in this new reality. I went today to a funeral home, and the funeral home had drive-by viewing. You go by, had this huge screen up, and you could drive by to see your loved one. That's ingenuity. We have to be able to find better ways to do the things we're going to do. And that's what we need. Then sometimes, where we're going, we become so divided and we become, so siloed that, every now and then, we know God has to say, all right, let's get y'all talking again. Socially distant is a oxymoron. We are social people. We're physically distant, but we're spiritually and socially connected. And now we have all the technology to be able to do that. And so I'm grateful because, there are 3,500 of you all on this particular call right now, and I appreciate it. But I do know that if we were doing business as usual, y'all wouldn't be here. Y'all be doing something else. So I appreciate you for doing that. This is an opportunity to think and to plan, to do your taxes. You have a chance to be able to do that, and try to reconnect with people that you should connect with. We can do it. We're going to be absolutely fine. But we're going to have this rough patch. We've had rough patches before. Our city has been around since 1733, and we've seen some rough days. My forefathers have seen some rough days, some dark nights. But we know that trouble doesn't, and we take care of each other. If we do the right thing, if we keep the faith, but we follow the science, Savannah is going to be just fine. And a governor's order is not going to prevent that. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. And I'll get Comcast to look at this cable, see what's going on from here. God bless you all. Peace. Good night.